channel. My name is Barry, and today we're going to be watching DefunctLand, the history of the Nickelodeon Hotel. The last DefunctLand react I did was a little long. It was about the Fast Pass system, so make sure you check it out. I always wanted to go to the Nickelodeon Hotel when I was a kid. I never got to because I always wanted to be slimed. I want to know what it feels like. So, let's see what happened to the Nickelodeon Hotel.
In 1999, the children's network Nickelodeon was changed forever with the premiere of a new cartoon series named SpongeBob SquarePants.
That was in 1989?
Nickelodeon had developed many popular TV shows in its 20-year existence, but it had never had a hit like SpongeBob.
It was
the
so
show debuted
good.
to high ratings, with an audience comparable to Nickelodeon's biggest series at the time, Rugrats.
Oh my god. For everybody who says I laugh like a baby, I get that comment a lot. They should have cast me in this.
But SpongeBob found massive success in an area that other Nickelodeon shows hadn't: merchandising.
Oh,
the company had purposefully
yeah.
shied away from extending the brand too far from the network itself. While Nickelodeon had turned some of its properties into toys, feature films, and video games.
Well, I mean, to be honest, like, they are very iconic looking, but they're kind of like are a little creepy at the same time. The merchandise that I think probably would have been pretty good is like Reptar. Like, Reptar is really cute, and they had that really iconic orange DVD for the Rugrats movie. It was awesome.
They feared that too much merchandising would contradict the brand's goal of appealing to young audiences. Nickelodeon was supposed to appear as a network run by kids, for kids.
Wait, 4Kids? Who runs 4Kids, though? 4Kids did some cool stuff. I actually like the censoring of One Piece whenever they would have Sanji, instead of smoking a cigarette, he had a lollipop. That was a pretty cool censorship. That was pretty cool.
And the executives
still had
believed the
aura.
children
It still
could
had
tell when they
aura.
were being advertised to, thus interfering with the channel's primary objective. On top of this, a general distaste for the Walt Disney Company and its practices had solidified Nickelodeon's motivation to limit size and avoid feeling corporate. All of this was thrown out the window after SpongeBob premiered. The potential profit from merchandising the show's characters and setting was too large to ignore.
Wait, so Nickelodeon had their own Mr. Krabs moment? Mr. Krabs, I'm charging for merchandise.
And the title character would turn into Nickelodeon's unofficial mascot, its own Mickey Mouse, within just a few years. It appeared as though Nickelodeon was cashing in, but they were still concerned with expanding outside of their comfort zone and tarnishing their brand, in lieu of building its own stores like Disney.
Oh, the Disney store is kind of cute, though. It feels like an experience. Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like shopping in a store. I just kind of like looking around, poking some stuff, walking out.
A project that was deemed too risky, Nickelodeon instead licensed its properties to anyone that wanted them.
Holy crap! They're using SpongeBob for land development? I feel like someone's trying to sell me something. Look at all this crap!
If you could slap a SpongeBob sticker on it, then Nickelodeon would sign a document that legally allowed you to slap a SpongeBob sticker on it.
Look, did anybody else play this? My grandma used to collect these games that you would plug into the TV. This is old people stuff, okay? Every old person, come on in, come on in. Let me tell you a tale of when I was a child. This SpongeBob game was so fun. You would use his nose to like move around on the screen and stuff. And another plug and play that I always thought was funny is I think there's a picture of Spider-Man. Type in Spider-Man plug and play game. It looks like a Weenor.
And since they were already beginning to look like their main competitor, why not act like them too? And what's more Disney than rushing into a huge, difficult project fueled by temporary success?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Nick Hotel.
Whoa!
Going up?
I feel like I'm an Evangelion going up the elevator. Any day now. Yep, any day now. Oh, never mind. My watch is on this hand. Sorry. Aw, this is really cute. What a good idea. What's up with Nick and Disney getting into theme hotels? I'm not sure where the Nickelodeon Hotel is, but if you put a themed hotel next to a big park like Walt Disney World, kids are gonna want to stay there, right? Because they're already going to Disney. They're like, oh my god, I can have SpongeBob in my room when I'm going to Disney. That is so cool.
On October 9, 2003, Nickelodeon announced that they had formed a partnership with the hotel chain Holiday Inn for the purpose of transforming its Orlando resort, the Holiday Inn Family Suites Resort, into the first ever Nickelodeon Hotel. The property was less than 5 years old, having just opened in the summer of 1999. The resort was Holiday Inn's first all-suite hotel, featuring 800 suites, 2 pools, water playgrounds, a restaurant, and a food court.
If you're... See, this is just me talking about me being old. But if you're old like me, for some reason, when I was a kid, Coca-Cola was like super aura farming. We had a Coca-Cola themed bathroom at my house. I don't know why my mom did that, but every time I went pee, I had to stare at the Coca-Cola bear.
The hotel was located just east of the Walt Disney World Resort, and transportation was provided to all 4 Disney parks. Nickelodeon had originally considered constructing a new resort themselves, but decided against this due to their constant fear of failure. Orlando was of course the perfect location for the resort's pilot test. It had a huge tourist population of families and young children, and the company had 2 attractions at Universal Studios Florida, Nickelodeon Studios and the newly opened Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast. The Holiday Inn was located closer to Walt Disney World than it was to Universal Studios, but Nickelodeon would take what they could get. During the announcement, Nickelodeon revealed that they had plans to build 4 more resorts throughout the country. The transformation of the Holiday Inn Family Suites Resort was to be completed in early 2005.
$20 million to upgrade. Wow. But to be fair, like I said earlier, if you're next to the parks in Orlando, that is literally like money printer.
And the renovation would cost an estimated $20 million. Nickelodeon began advertising the resort leading up to its release, and parents began to book their stays at the new hotel.
Did you hear? Nickelodeon has built a hotel just for you.
For me? I'm 28.
This Memorial Day, the brand new Nickelodeon Family Suites by Holiday Inn in Orlando, Florida. You get your own bedroom.
I would hope so. oh, they meant for the kids. I thought they meant in general. I was like, if I'm paying for a hotel, I hope I get my own bedroom. You want me to sleep outside?
Humongous pool with slides and flumes, a giant arcade.
Ooh, arcade, big selling point.
And live Nick entertainment.
Woohoo,
Parents can book reservations by logging on to www.nickhotel.com or call 1-866-GO-TO-NICK.
Wow.
On March 9th, 2005, the Nickelodeon Family Suites Holiday Inn, commonly referred to as the Nick Hotel, opened its doors. Guests would walk up to the bright orange resort, with characters peeking through the window of the main entrance.
Oh my god, they're huge. You're gonna step on me.
There were 4 room layouts that guests could choose from. The first was a 1-bedroom suite designed for 1 to 2 people. This included a king-sized bed, full kitchen, and a dishwasher.
I'm jumping on that.
The second was a 2-bedroom kid suite. This included a private parents' room, a living area, a bathroom, and a themed kids' room.
That is crazy. Your own room as a kid. That's nuts. I'd be jumping up and down, eating ice cream for breakfast. This would be awesome.
Kids' room would either feature a bunk bed or 2 twin beds, and the rooms were themed to different Nickelodeon properties.
I'm actually scared of bunk beds because when I was a kid, I always fell off them. I don't know how. Maybe I just like roll around a lot when I'm sleeping, but I would wake up.
Such as SpongeBob, The Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Dora the Explorer, Rugrats, Danny Phantom, and more. Guests could request a specific character room and would be assigned to it if available.
Whoa.
The kids' rooms also featured a television, and some came with a PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2? Wait, no shot. That's pretty cool. Like a game console in your room. It would be really, really hard to get me to go to the park if I could just sit in the room all day and play PS2.
Guests could rent games from the hotel for $5 or bring their own. There was also a CD player and an activity table in most of the suites. Unlike the parents' room, there was no door separating the kids' room from the living area. This was due to a county law restricting doors on kid suites for safety reasons.
I guess that makes sense.
The parents' room was unthemed and featured 2 side tables.
Hey, that's not fair. The parents' room better still come with the PS2. Just because I'm an adult doesn't mean I don't want to play the PS2.
A closet, a 25-inch TV, and a makeup desk. The main living area featured a pull-out couch, a rocking chair, a dining table, and a 25-inch TV. The third suite layout was a 3-bedroom kid suite. This came with 2 private parent rooms, both with king-sized beds, a themed kids room with a bunk bed and pull-out cot, a full kitchen, a full dining room, and 2 bathrooms.
If you ever traveled to Japan, the hotels there are so small. If you were to show a picture of this hotel room to a Japanese person, they would be shocked.
The fourth and final layout was Nick Hotel's honeymoon suite, called the Nick at Night Suite.
Oh, not the Nick at Night Suite? Damn. Who's that emo girl from Danny Phantom? Sam? They better have Sam cosplays for the ladies to wear, something like that.
Oh, yeah. This included a heart-shaped whirlpool, mood lighting, scented bath lotion, an extra-large shower for two, baby, and only one private bedroom. Leave those kids at home. For some reason, these rooms didn't last very long, and it seems that they were discontinued within a few years of the hotel's opening.
Who would do that?
All suites had the option of a wake-up call from a Nickelodeon character, and simple room service was available.
Wait, I do want to see what the room service looked like back then.
Suites had the option of a wake-up call from a Nickelodeon character, and simple.
Because let's think, these prices for that time period, what I'm talking about, we're like in 1843, are very, very high still because it's a hotel. But a full rack of ribs for $22, even on the pricey side, that shit's like 50 bucks now. Ain't no way. 10-ounce New York strip, 20 bucks. Comes with french fries, onions, and also steak butter. These are like pretty crazy cheap prices for a hotel, in my opinion.
Room service was available. The suites opened from the outside, resulting in the kids' suites having no windows. 14 six-story buildings housed the suites. The main structure comprised of 9 buildings, enclosing the lagoon pool, and the other 5 buildings enclosed the Oasis pool. The main area also featured the lobby, the fitness center, and Studio B, which was a space for special events such as conferences, birthday parties, and starting in 2009 for unexplicable reasons, weddings.
Who's getting married at the Nick Hotel? If I get married at the Nick Hotel, I want the person reciting the vows to be SpongeBob. What is that guy's name? Wait, reciting the vows. Wait, wouldn't that be the groom? Oh, hell no! I'm not getting married to SpongeBob!
The lagoon pool featured a basketball court, mini golf, a pool and a kiddie area, the Lagoon Bar and Grill poolside restaurant, and a large water park. The main attraction for children staying at the resort.
I love the little robot girl. Who is it, XJ9? Her design is really cool.
The water park featured large cutouts of Nickelodeon characters,
and
multiple water slides, water features, and a large water bucket at the top of the structure.
Yeah, Jenny.
This would periodically fill up, tip over, and douse guests with water. And at certain times of the day, the water would be colored green to simulate slime.
Whoa.
This was treated as a special event, with hotel employees gathering everyone and getting them excited for the mass sliming. The Oasis pool area featured another poolside bar, a kiddie area, a spa, and a less elaborate water park.
Poolside bar is funny. Like, I know that families are there and like parents are there, so you definitely want to have a drink. But imagine just like being a child and going up to the bar and be like, 1 chocolate milk, please, and the good stuff. Promised land.
This was supposed to be the more relaxing area than the often crowded lagoon pool. In between the 2 hotel structures would be a building referred to as the mall. The mall featured an arcade, a kids spa, and a gift shop, which sold both Nickelodeon and Universal Studios merchandise. There was a 4D theater, which had a 3D screen, moving seats, bubbles, and water effects. This would show a SpongeBob 4D film, as well as 15-minute highlight reels from recent movies, such as the Ice Age franchise, and later, Pacific Rim. There was also
What? Okay, I've always wondered this. Why do the children love Pacific Rim? Little kids love Pacific Rim, and I don't know why.
Theater named Studio Nick for game shows and live character shows.
Yeah, big robot, that makes sense.
When the hotel opened, Studio Nick had 2 game shows, Who Knows Best and Nick Live. Who Knows Best was a game show that tested how well families knew each other, while Nick Live was a show in which families would compete against other families in physical challenges and trivia.
What the hell was that?
While Nick Live was
You would never catch me up here milking a damn cow. Oh no.
a show in which families would compete against other families in physical.
Yeah, and isn't that cow a guy? How does he got udders? It's like, okay, well, never mind.
Challenges and trivia, with the winner getting slimed. A smaller scale version of this show called Nick Live Poolside would be performed by the Lagoon Pool, with a small dunk tank dedicated to the show. The Nick Hotel also had a wide array of dining options. The mall had its own food court, with restaurants rotating in and out from time to time. Restaurants included A&W, Pizza Hut Express, Antonio's Pizzeria, and Starbucks. There was a buffet open for breakfast and lunch, an adult bar named the Nick at Night Lounge, and the hotel's signature restaurant, the Nicktoons Cafe.
Oh, Wonderfeds are on our way. Forgotten media, man.
This reservation-only character dining restaurant served a breakfast and dinner buffet. The main appeal of the Nicktoons Cafe was, of course, the character meet and greets.
Aww.
And now, a brief tangent on Nickelodeon character costumes.
Wait, did he do that voice? That was pretty good. He did a pretty good job.
The Nick Hotel allowed guests to meet many of their favorite Nickelodeon characters. There were meet and greets set up throughout the hotel, Studio Nick character shows such as SpongeBob Alive, and dance parties in the pool area. The art of turning a two-dimensional cartoon into a three-dimensional walk-around costume is underappreciated. If done correctly, it can bring a beloved character to life.
True.
If done incorrectly, it is creepy.
He is kind of scary. Imagine hugging somebody who can't hug you back. Like, why is he just like this?
Today, Disney's walk-around characters rarely come off as unsettling. This is because of the talented actors that portray them, the brilliant artists that design them, and years of trial and error.
Oh my god! This is some Five Nights at Freddy's horror. Holy crap! That is really scary.
Nickelodeon did not have the benefit of the latter. All of the Nick Hotel character costumes seem to be designed in such a way that the characters appear as though they are always smiling for a picture.
No, just, guys, this is what they need to do. Get a furry to do this. Commission a furry to make these costumes because for some reason they always cook.
However, this only works if they are staring directly at the camera, which they almost never are. On the other hand, Disney's costumes are designed to be multi-purposed. For instance, when Mickey is smiling for a picture, he will tilt his head up slightly. By design, he appears to be smiling more from this angle. When he tilts his head back down, he is still smiling, but it is more neutral, as opposed to relentless and terrifying. Also, most
Wait, I want to go back to SpongeBob boogieing. Look at him.
Smiling, but it is more neutral,
Look at his
as
little
opposed
feet.
to relentless and terrifying. Also, most Disney costumes are designed for some amount of neck movement. This gives the characters more life, as they don't appear as walking sculptures. Many of Nickelodeon's costumes featured heads that were too large to move.
That is bad. Look at how big his head is. I mean, I know I got a big head, but that is a big head and no neck.
This resulted in a surplus of premium-grade nightmare fuel. Made worse if the children actually did have a nightmare, they would turn on their bed light to reveal the character staring at them while they sleep.
Oh my
In
god.
short, every character at the Nick Hotel looked like they were on drugs at all times.
Why are they walking towards me Walking Dead style? Get away! You're scaring me.
Characters appearing at the resort included
Oh.
SpongeBob, Squidward, Sandy, Patrick, Mr. Krabs,
He looks
Dora,
angry.
Boots, Diego, Blue, Danny Phantom, Aang, Cosmo,
Cosmo is the biggest jump scare, I think.
Wanda, Jimmy Neutron,
Oh, wow. Oh my god. Okay, this one's really scary. It doesn't even look like a thumb. That's like a big thumb.
Angelica,
Oh, that one's bad too. Why did they use like this pool noodle on the outside? The fuzz is weird.
the Power Rangers,
Okay, they don't look bad. These are good. I like the Power Rangers.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Okay, wait, the quality kind of went up with the Ninja Turtles. They look good. Or am I psycho? They look good, right? They look all right.
Millie and Geo of Team Umizoomi, Ming Ming Duck Ling,
She's
Fanboy
cute.
and Chum Chum.
Okay, to be fair, they always looked like shit. I don't think any costume would make them look good. They always looked really bad.
Chase and Marshall, the Paw Patrol dogs, Pablo, the Bubble Guppies,
Oh, not the Bubble
and Little
Guppies.
Bill.
Oh my
The
god.
costume designs improved over time, but they were still not optimal for character shows.
But Squidward, today is the day that we honor the greatest sandwich in the 7 seas, the Krabby Patty.
Behind the mall, there was a man-made lake. While it was not accessible to guests, various statues of Nickelodeon characters were placed on it. The hotel also had Christmas festivities named the Let It Snow Celebration.
Okay, I heard man-made lake, and I got really scared that they were just spawning alligators back there.
The resort was decorated in bright Christmas lights, and it offered hot chocolate and s'mores around fire pits. Many of the walk-around characters were dressed in seasonal costumes, and there was a special Studio Nick character show called Celebrate Nickmas. So, how much did it cost? The renovation to create the resort ended up costing around $25 million, and a total of 777 suites were available to book. Prices fluctuated throughout the year. A 2-bedroom kid suite cost between $135 and $275 a night.
$135 to $275. I'm gonna be honest with you. In 2000, I wasn't booking hotels. I was a baby, okay? I wasn't booking nothing. I don't know if that's reasonable or not.
While a 3-bedroom kid suite costs between $300 and $600 a night.
Okay, $600 is a little excessive. $600 a night. That's like resort with included food and beverages.
It was around $10 for adults, $8 for kids, and free for anyone under 12. The Nicktoons Cafe character dining cost $17 for an adult and $10 for kids. An all-access wristband in later years would allow guests access to the 4D experience and other activities in the mall area. That's a good idea. This cost around $20. So if you did the math, a family of 4 spending 2 nights and a full day at the hotel would cost over $750 during peak season.
Dang.
While this was expensive, the Nick Hotel operated as a resort, with enough activities and attractions to keep guests on property during their stay.
Now I get why parents get so mad on vacation. Like, imagine spending all that money. Going on vacation is not cheap.
This was different than Disney, as more often than not, Walt Disney World Resort Hotel guests will be purchasing tickets to one or more of the property's theme parks. On April 30th, 2005, just over a month after the Nick Hotel opened its doors, Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios Florida closed. A time capsule had been buried outside of the studio in 1992.
Cool.
Kids voted on what they wanted to be placed in the capsule, and items such as a Back to the Future VHS, an MC Hammer CD, and a Nintendo Game Boy were buried.
Well, I mean, now that it's recorded and they put all the stuff in there, there's really no surprise. I thought the time capsule was supposed to be like surprising when you open it. And you're like, wow, we put all this in here? We'll just go watch the video.
The capsule was to remain for 50 years, to be opened in 2042. After Nickelodeon Studios closed, the time capsule was moved to the Nick Hotel where it was reburied and displayed for guests.
That looks like a magic 8-ball.
The Nickelodeon Hotel continued to operate normally for over a decade, adding new entertainment options and shows periodically. In May of 2012, Double Dare Live, a new game show at Studio Nick based off of the hit TV show, debuted. In 2014, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Summer of the Shell began. Some rooms were rethemed to the heroes, and a laser maze based off of the TV show was added to the mall.
I like
In
laser
2015, the Nick Hotel celebrated its 10th anniversary. But just a month after the celebration ended, the Nick Hotel would receive some devastating news. On January 29th, 2016, Nickelodeon announced that the Nickelodeon Family Suites would be rebranded back into a Holiday Inn. The news, while sad for many, was not necessarily shocking.
Why would they do that? My guess is because maybe Holiday Inn couldn't afford the character licensing. I don't know. Let's see.
There were a few signs that the Nick Hotel might not be around for much longer. For one, Nickelodeon had a severely reduced presence at Universal Studios Florida, since Nickelodeon Studios had closed in 2005 and Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast had closed in 2011. While walk-around characters still appeared at the park, there was no attraction dedicated
walk-around characters, they're skate-around characters. Look at that.
To Nickelodeon. This made marketing the resort and the park together slightly more difficult. And more than anything, it was an indication that an era of Nickelodeon was over.
Wait, that's actually so sad. If one of those fish fall over and they break their leg, they'll be like, my leg! But everybody in the audience will be like, ah, that's so funny, they're referencing the show. No, seriously, my leg, it's fractured in like 3 places.
By 2016, the original branding was dated, as all of the shows, except SpongeBob and the Fairly Odd Parents, had ended. Another issue was that the concept for the resort was flawed from the beginning. The Nick Hotel operated like an all-inclusive resort, similar to those found in tropical destinations.
Yeah!
The problem was that the Nick Hotel was in the middle of Orlando. This made guests feel claustrophobic, as the resort was not sitting next to an ocean.
Oh, because you see like a highway. I was like, claustrophobic? Why? Santa doesn't really come to where is this, Orlando that much? Only once a year.
They also wanted to go experience Orlando's many attractions. But for the price of the Nick Hotel, guests needed to stay on property to get their money's worth.
Oh, that does suck. You know another place that had this problem? Wasn't there that huge Star Wars hotel that was supposed to be like super roleplay? You had to stay on the entire time. But I'm pretty sure it's like in Orlando, right? So why do I want to stay in a stupid hotel all day when I want to go out and explore the park and have fun. Yeah, 5K for the weekend. 5K to be locked up Mr. Beast style is insane.
However, these were all minor issues. The biggest reason for the debranding was Nickelodeon's new partnership with Charisma Hotels. This was created to build Nickelodeon resorts throughout the world.
This looks nicer.
The company had never gone through with the plans for expansion with Holiday Inn.
Okay, guys, I know this is a cartoon, so don't get mad.
Resorts throughout the world. The company.
But why would SpongeBob need a snorkel mask? Can he breathe under the water? What the hell would he do with that?
He had never gone through with the plans for expansion with Holiday Inn, most likely due to the Nick Hotel not being a massive success. The resort was popular, but it was clear that the Holiday Inn concept wouldn't work outside of Orlando. The first Nickelodeon resort with Charisma Hotels would open in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic later in 2016.
Whoa.
The new resort would have many attractions similar to the Nick Hotel, but it had a more elegant and subtle design and was located on a beach. The Punta Cana resort was met with glowing reviews.
SpongeBob has like 50 skins.
A more elegant and subtle design and was located on a beach. The Punta Cana resort was.
Why does he have more skins than like 90% of League of Legends characters? Zillion is jealous of SpongeBob.
met with glowing reviews, and another resort is set to open in Riviera Maya, Mexico in 2019. Since Nickelodeon was focusing on a more luxurious resort brand, they decided to end their licensing contract with Holiday Inn. There was also one more reason for the closure. The hotel was not in great shape.
Oh, people be pooping in the pool! Oh!
The Nickelodeon Hotel, 10 years later. These images may be disturbing.
Oh! Ow! I am not sleeping on a Goo Lagoon-ass bed. Oh, what is going on? They got children gnawing on the walls. What is that? What is that? Is it blood on the sheets? Guys, the blood's supposed to stay on the dance floor. What the hell? Are those bugs? Ew! Why is this ball? What is this? What am I looking at here? What is this? He's just like fingering the wall? What is there? Oh, this is the ground? I don't know. I don't see what I'm supposed to see here. Oh, that's the wall panel. Oh, it's falling off. Oh, I see now. Oh, ew. Okay, come on. How does this level of damage even happen? What are people doing in their hotel rooms? Oh my god. Okay, what is this? Let's take a quick inspection. This is gonna be like when I rate you guys' rooms next week. What is this? Wall with doo-doo on it? Enter password. Is this really the AC? Okay, guys. The children are eating the floor. They are eating the floor. And they're pissing on the chairs. That is gross. Why is it so wet? Oh, what is that? Is this the towel they were given? Ew, that's like the towel that your dad uses when he's fixing the car. Okay, it looks like somebody ripped this wide open, sticky finger style. More mysterious brown dots. Okay, to be fair, I had lived in a house where the ceiling fan always shook like that, so it didn't even bother me. Okay, we have some more peeling on the corners and nastiness. Oh, it's like, I guess the microwave is rusting. Ew, or like the door or something. Okay, the shower head is coming out of the wall. Then we have giant light on the ceiling caked in crap. Oh, that's the sink? That's like 9 years of acidic spit. Oh, bugs? What was that? Was that a bed bug? Ew. Ew, it is a bed bug because there's blood.
By 2016, the Nick Hotel desperately needed a renovation.
Yeah.
This meant either updating all of the Nickelodeon characters and properties, or removing them completely. The timing just happened to be perfect to end the contract.
Yeah.
The resort was to receive a $30 million renovation along with the debranding. It was set to reopen on April 17, 2016.
Dang, owning a hotel is expensive. $30 million in renovation. That is insane. I would never want to own a hotel, and I would also never want to own a restaurant because they both seem way too stressful for what you get out of it.
However, construction delays pushed the project back nearly 2 months. Having been announced in January that it was to close, this put the Nick Hotel in a state of limbo for 5 months.
Oh my
and
God.
the hotel stayed open for most of the transformation. During this
What?
time, certain activities were discontinued, buildings were being repainted, and logos were being removed. The time capsule was once again dug up and moved to the Nickelodeon studios in Burbank. Less people
Aww.
were staying at the hotel during this time, and the resort felt abandoned.
Yeah.
Many of the themed kid suites
It's the
remained,
Crimson
despite the
Chin!
rest of the hotel being given a blue paint job and replacing all Nickelodeon logos with Holiday Inn. Many of the TVs and appliances had not been replaced since the hotel opened. The mall area was almost completely
Really?
silent, with many of the attractions and restaurants being renovated or removed. Finally, on June 1st, 2016, the resort reopened as the Holiday Inn Orlando Suites. The hotel still hosts family game shows.
Well, that's
the
a good
food
idea.
court reopened with some new restaurants.
Okay.
The water bucket is now dyed dark blue at certain times.
Okay.
The 4D theater now shows some generic movie.
The Deep. Oh my God, I've seen what he's done in The Boys. I really don't want my kids watching that.
The laser maze is now themed to Batman, and the gift shop now sells both Nickelodeon and Disney merchandise. The prices have also dropped significantly, now typically below $100 a night for a room with a kid suite. The Nick
Okay.
Hotel was an interesting experiment to say the least, because it didn't not work. Attendance was consistent, it
He keeps scaring me. SpongeBob jump scare.
wasn't completely neglected by either company, and it avoided what would have probably been a disastrous expansion. At the same time, it wasn't perfect. The design was
Yeah.
cheesy,
Oh my God. He must have been like super sticky. Holy crap. I don't want to be emoting with slime all over me for a commercial.
the activities were immature, and there was little to
The activities were immature as funny.
nothing for parents. Plus, Holiday Inn, known more for having economical prices rather than luxurious facilities, was
Yeah.
probably not the best choice for the partnership. Nickelodeon made the right decision in partnering with Charisma Hotels, and it is possible that many new Nickelodeon resorts will open in the future. While these new resorts best the Nickelodeon family suites in
Whoa!
almost every category,
These are nice. Look at that. That's beautiful.
it is still disappointing to see such an elaborate entertainment experience disappear.
SpongeBob, take
Seeing
that
the
snorkel
Debranding
off.
Hotel, a skeleton of what it once was,
Stolen
is
air
devastating to
breather
those
valor.
that stayed there and the many more that wanted to. While it might be gone, the Nick Hotel leaves behind a decade of memories of Nickelodeon fans
Aw.
having the best day ever.
Aw, people still had fun though. Go outside, feeling so inside. It's the best day ever, right, chat? That was a really cute video. Aw, that was really good. Okay, I'm making sure I don't miss any after credits. Okay, there was no after credits. I was scared. I didn't check IMDb before the movie. Well, that was a good video. I really like these DefunctLand videos. I don't know. I'm not like a super big like theme park hotel head. But I think I'm kind of getting that way. I don't know why. I just like Universal and I like getting slime. So these were two perfect videos. Thank you guys for watching. I super appreciate it. Everybody in Twitch chat, say goodbye to YouTube chat. Make sure you use code Berry 10% off GG subs. And comment your favorite show from Nickelodeon when you were a kid.